Bonjour à tous, hello everyone, how are you doing?
Welcome to Namibia.
One of the least densely populated countries in the world.
We landed this morning at Windhoek International Airport, which is the only international gateway of Namibia by air. And from there we took our car and hit the road straight away to come here, to Swakopmund.
Established by German colonists in 1892, this coastal town is around 360 kilometers from Windhoek and took us around 4 hours to reach here. It should have taken us 3.5 hours, but you see what the steering is? That's right. So that gets a little bit of used to. On top of that, in Namibia, the highways are 2 ways, means there is no dual carriageway, and the speed limit is 120 kilometers per hour. Now, when you are not very sure of the width of the car and a huge truck is coming in front of you on the same road, you are bound to slow down. Now that we are talking about one-lane highway, 120 km per hour speed limit and all, few very funny incidents on our way. I was driving with full concentration as I am not used to right-hand drive. On the way, a huge truck passed by very close. It was super scary. Till the last minute, I thought it would hit us. Next one was when we stopped at a parking lot. I entered the car from the wrong side, and while looking for the steering, I realized that the steering is at the opposite side. Very, very funny.
Today we'll take it easy and explore Swakopmund, mainly the sunset around the pier, and also try to recover from the exhaustion of long flight journey.
The sunset of Swakopmund was great, right? The pier, the sun going down behind the ocean was pretty nice. But it was a long day. We are all very tired and hungry. So we came to this nice Chinese restaurant called Shehu. We are gonna hopefully eat some good Chinese food and then hit the bed. Tomorrow we have another long day. We have booked a package to visit Sandwich Harbor, which will last till sunset. The brochure of them looks pretty good. A lot of colorful pictures and good locations and everything. But you know, as every marketing material, sometime it doesn't end up exactly the same way. We will see, because our desert expectation is a little bit high. You know, after Morocco and Oman and Egypt and everything, we are not among those who just go and see 3 centimeters of sand and gets excited about it. So yeah, we'll see. It is extremely windy today, and it will be windy tomorrow as well. So we will have a sandy and dusty day. Let's see. I am hoping that I will get some good light. I'm super excited about it. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so good night for now, and see you tomorrow early morning. Good morning. So you are all ready and slept pretty well, as we were damn tired. And it is time to hit the road. And we will be on our way to Walvis Bay. Our rest of the discussion in the car. So let's go. Walvis Bay is around half an hour drive from Swakopmund, and the road looks like pretty nice. So first we will go to the Flamingo Bay and photograph some flamingos, and then after that around 2 o'clock we will meet our guide to go for the Sandwich Harbour trip. So let's go and see some flamingos. You know, there are some very interesting facts about flamingos, and I learned that in a very unexpected place for this topic. I was in a Gartner Analytics Summit in London, and there this was getting displayed. For flamingos, this phrase that you become what you eat is much more applicable than human. The bright pink color of flamingos come from beta-carotene, a red-orange pigment that's found in high amounts within algae, brine fly larvae and brine shrimps that flamingos eat in their wetland environments. In the digestive system, the carotenoids are broken down into pigments, and it is consumed by the liver and then deposited into the feather and the skin. That's how the flamingos become this pinkish and oranges. They actually don't burn like that. They burn more like a gray, white kind of color. Human, on the other hand, would need to eat a lot of carrots to get even the lightest shade of orange in their skin. So all those people who are going to the sun to get an orange tan, maybe you should eat a lot of carrots and you will get a permanent orange pigment on your skin. Our next destination will be Sandwich Harbour. Unfortunately, due to very high wind, we need to rely mainly on voiceover. and only documenting the main attractions.
Some say that the name Sandwich Harbor comes from the German word Zundfisch, meaning sandfish or shark. But the most sources point to a ship, the HMS Sandwich, that visited the bay in the late 18th century.
We booked our tour from awesome chapters, as there are only very few who are doing sunset trips in this region. We initially started our journey to visit Pelican Bay. Well, we did see some pelicans on the way, but make no mistake, Pelican Bay doesn't mean there are a lot of pelicans there. Even though there were no pelicans in Pelican Bay, we found those foxes. They were struggling big time from the wind and sleeping over those seashells, which are actually warmer than sleeping on the sand. This place is full of flamingos. The region overall has more than 150,000 flamingos of different species. And not to mention seals. There are many seal colonies in this region. The most popular one is near Cape Crossboat. And finally, the Pelican Point Lighthouse. A room at this lighthouse lodge can cost you close to $1,000 per night.
Oh my God. Abhishek, what was that?
Yeah, the weather really didn't show us any mercy.
Really?
I didn't like it at all. The one was much better.
Yeah, I think the main problem here is that the wind was too much.
Absolutely.
And this is a place that requires enjoying it in a good weather. So to me, the positive is that there is definitely a good potential at this place. This is one of the best landscapes in the world. But as any deserts, you need time and you need the best light. With that much of wind, the light was really dimmed and we couldn't enjoy anything on that. Like Priyanka and Ricky couldn't even go out because the sand was so much flowing. Now I have a little bit more resistance eye, so I could go out, but I can tell you it was very uncomfortable. We couldn't do any recordings. That's why you have seen that most of the things were voiceover, because in that wind it was not possible to record anything at all. We took some visuals. The light was not the best, but to me the positive is that this place requires a bit more detailed exploration, not like the normal day trippers, right? Normal day trips are fine when it comes to normal tourists who just go there for half a day, just do a little bit of sand movement and that's it done. But if you really want to do photography and enjoy that type of nature, you really need to spend more time. So
Correct.
Good thing was that we were with a guide who does this type of things, and he already gave us some great ideas. Now, we have came to Namibia like twice, but we did not go to Itosa. So you have to come back here to visit the Itosa, the forest part of it, the wildlife part of it. But the thing is, you don't come all the way here to only go to Itosa, because you will not spend 3 weeks in Itosa or 2 weeks in Itosa. So this could be a thing to add on to that trip, right? And I got some very good ideas, and that's probably is coming on the pipeline. I think the good thing on this would be a multi-day desert exploration, where you go through the deserts, camp several nights at the harbor, at the beach, on the sand dunes and everything. So even if it is windy, you might find like a good amount of time where the lights are good and all these things. This is exactly what we did in Oman, right, Ricky?
Absolutely.
Because we spent 4 nights in one desert, 5 nights in another desert, and that's why we got that experience. It is not possible to do it in half a day. Yes, for normal tourists, as I said, is okay. But the way we travel, our experience is different. And to get that experience, we have to come back with a bit more time at this place. So yeah, that was the sandwich harbor for us this time, with the promise to come back and get you some of the unseen and most stunning visual of this beautiful region. But for now, we have another amazing place coming up. You know what it is? The Skeleton Coast, where we will see some skeletons. Anyway, so see you soon on the way to Skeleton Coast.
Good morning. I was very tired yesterday, and unlike other days, Abhishek also planned to sleep longer today. That means he is getting tired as well.
Good morning. Yeah, it was a very long day.
We have another thrilling day today as we are visiting Skeleton Coast. So let's get ready and we'll tell more about it in a minute.
All the plans are here.
Oh.
A 3 weeks photography trip requires a lot of logistics. It is not only the careful planning, but also making sure that nothing is left behind in the commute. And moving from one place to another feels like moving a house all the time. Thank God we have a large enough car that can fit everything perfectly. Otherwise, the pain would have been many times greater.
We are all set to go to Skeleton Coast.
There are not much supplies available inside Skeleton Coast. Anyway, in Namibia, it is always a best practice to fill up the car with the fuel, because you do not know where the next available fuel pump is. It can be 300-400 kilometers away. So now we will go and fill up the car, get some good amount of water, and then hit the road. So stay along and we show you how the road to Skeleton Coast is. Diesel full tank, please.
Okay, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you doing?
I'm good.
When we are not used to it, things might feel a bit strange, that we are asking someone else to fill the fuel tank, as this is not a luxury we have back home. And at the same time, you get a glass cleaning service. Even though it is supposed to be a perk of purchasing the fuel, it is a nice gesture to tip them a bit for the service. Fuel is full, the car is clean, and the water supply is checked. Now let's hit the road. This coastline has many names. The old Bushmen used to call it as a land that God created in anger, whereas the Portuguese sailors used to call it as the gateway to the hell. The main reason behind is the way the winds work here. The cold and humid wind from Atlantic meets here to the hot and dry wind from the Namib desert. creating a very thick fog in the entire coastline. And that is making it impossible to steer the ship, especially the old ships, which did not have navigation systems and stuff. Hence, in the old time, there are a lot of ships broken down in this entire coast. And that is why there are a lot of shipwrecks here. We will see one very soon. There is a constant wind from the ocean to the desert, to the kind of shoreline. So that is why it is much easier to come from the ocean to the shore, but it is almost impossible to go back because, you know, old time, the ships were all steered by the wind, and as the wind direction is constantly opposite, before the invention or the introduction of the engine managed ship, once the ship gets into the shore, that's it, it is dead, it cannot go back anymore. On top of that, there is no population here for hundreds of kilometers, and it is so dry, there is no water, there is no food. So at that point of time, once you are in the shore, you are very much dead. Now, a lot of skeletons can be found here, animal, human alike, from this old time. That was the main reason why this coast was named as Skeleton Coast.
We have arrived at Zeila Shipwreck. Honestly, this is the only shipwreck that we will visit on our way. There are a few more, but they are in horrible condition. You know, we have visited many shipwrecks in different parts of the world. So we won't go crazy to see 3 bowls of a ship. Rather, we will enjoy one properly. In fact, we will also skip to visit the abandoned oil rig that is on our way. Actually, we didn't find it interesting by looking at the images. Right now, we will move more north towards our today's nest. We will drop off the luggage and go further. Welcome to Cape Cross Lodge. It's one of the oldest constructions of Skeleton Coast. This construction is there in some shape or form since 1486. This is gonna be our nest for coming 2 nights. It's middle of nowhere but looks very nice. Now we will drop off our luggage and go to visit the nearby Cape Cross Seal Colony. But before that, let's see the amazing view of South Atlantic from our balcony. We have given the details of the lodge in the description below. If you are in the region, this is a fantastic place to spend a few nights. The view is very nice and we can see the Atlantic. Another amazing fact. The cool air from the ocean and lack of mountains in the area stop clouds from forming. As a result, making it one of the driest places on earth. It's very hot here. Cold water is perfect now. Anyway, the Seal Colony is very nearby, so let's go and check it out.
The Cape Cross Shield Reserve is only 3 kilometers from the Cape Cross Lodge, and there is a direct route that goes from the lodge to the reserve. Like all other national reserves in Namibia, the Cape Cross Shield Reserve also has a fixed opening hour.
Welcome to Seal Colony. Oh my God, it's so smelly. You know, with more than 200,000 seals, it is the largest mainland breeding seal colony of the entire world. normally this place stays very busy during the day, but as it is already afternoon and only the people who are staying inside the lodge are around the area, it's fairly empty, exactly how we want a place to be. It's so nice to see so many shields in one place. Now we'll go back to our lodge and call it a day. But of course we will let you enjoy the beautiful sunset and also some exceptional pollution-free Namibian night sky. Good morning everyone, yet another not so early start of the day for us. Today we will explore Skeleton Coast Coastal Park. So let's go, and on the way we will provide you some more information.
As this is a national park, there is particular entry and exit time. The Swakopmund gate, where we are going now, opens between 7:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. for the entry. Whereas for exit, it is only possible between 7:30 a.m. in the morning and 7 p.m. in the evening. Whereas the Springbok Visor gate, which is on the other side of the park, stays open between 7:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. for entry, and for exit between 7:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. You need a permit to enter. A day permit can be purchased at the gate for $100 Namibian per person. There is also an option of overnight permit, but that can only be arranged from Windhoek office based on advanced application.
Welcome to Skeleton Coast Coastal Park. We have seen this gate so many times in different pictures. It looks pretty thrilling.
We have reached Tora Bay. This is how far we will go. We can actually proceed further. What I understood is that without an overnight permit, I should not be able to proceed further, but honestly, I don't see any checkpoints or anything. So I don't know what will happen if we proceed further, if somebody is going to stop me or not. But that's the situation today. But I'm going to be not a naughty person. I will follow the rule and turn back from here. Honestly speaking, I did not find it super interesting. Yes, I know the Skeleton Coast was supposed to be an empty land. That is why all the names and all this stuff. I was expecting to see something interesting. Yes, there was this little sand body from where you drive next to it, which was interesting. The emptiness was nice for a leisure drive, but you know, the whole Namibia is empty, so it's not something special to pay a fee to get into the park and all this stuff. So I'm not even sure why they made it as a park and asking for a fee and all this stuff. Anyway, so if you do not really have an extra day like what we had, I would say don't bother coming into this. I do not know if we could have gone to this Hanif river mouth or so, what we would have seen, but so far what we have seen is quite boring. I mean, I could have probably driven half an hour, would have seen something similar. Anyway, time to go back and probably finish this chapter of the trip.
That concludes our first chapter of the prolonged adventure of Namibia. Yes, the Sandwich Harbour could have been a bit less windy. The Skeleton Coast may have some more things to see. Even with all this, it was a great start and we have enjoyed thoroughly. We hope that you have also enjoyed in the same way that we did. And if you did so, please give us a thumbs up. It really means a lot to us. If you didn't subscribe us yet, please do it. And don't forget to press the bell icon to get notification of our upcoming adventures. So, ciao for now and see you at Speedscope.